Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I have another review for you. From Image Comics, we got Echolands #2 with the Landscape Edition comic. It reads sideways. It is sideways. Give you a little piece of the back, a little quote on there. Let's get into the who's and the what's and the. All right, so we got is co-created and co-written by J.H. Williams III and W. Haden Blackman. Art and design by J.H. Williams III. Colors by Dave Stewart. Letters by Todd Klein. It does say additional design by Drew Gill. So Echolands, it's really hard to sum up because a lot of the aspects of the book we don't know. It does involve magic. There's wizards and witches. There's actually a whole slew of stuff. In the first issue we saw that they have black and white characters. There's like comic book characters. There's elves and vampires, and it's kind of a weird mix of everything. Not only that, but the actual map and locations of everything have a mix of our modern world. Like they mentioned San Francisco, Colorado, but then they do mention other places like Treasure Island, maybe from the books. They do mention like Mirthwood, like the home of the elves, stuff like that. So when I say it is a weird, it's hard to sum up. There's a lot of the books, there's a lot of the story we don't know yet. Like the kind of the aspect of the whole world that they're in, the kind of people that they're in. Right now it's just a mix of everything. But honestly, it's really nice, and it kind of fits in there. The main character is Hope, and I think her last name is like Rider or Red Rider, something like that, because it's a play on like Little Red Riding Hood. But in the first issue, we found she had stolen something from a wizard. After she stole that, there was like a golem or something that was after her. She did make it back to her crew, and we met a lot of her crew, and as soon as she ended up back with her crew, the golem had caught up with her, and it was kind of like this massive fight. And then we learned that Hope and most of her crew learned as well that she is able to do magic, and not only that, but she can't really control it, and she caused this like massive explosion, and kind of, some of her friends died, but that's where we are catching up. They kind of give you this backstory on Hope's like best friend slash lover slash teammate slash, but basically his name is Core, and he's been with her for a long time. She does state that she knows very little about the man, and he knows like everything about her, but they have always been together. And in this issue specifically, everything that she says kind of stays true through the whole book. Again, this is a sideways comic, and you have to read it, starting over here, and it's very easy to follow. There are some and I'll show you in a second, there are some panels that kind of look confusing, but after you get into reading, it's very easy to follow through, and the art is just, it's beyond amazing. But, okay, so we are, in their little hidey hole, and the golem has caught up to him. Hope has just done the magic. As you can see, everything, like in the scene, is just, it is crazy. The golem is still alive. That's kind of how we found out that this thing was a golem, because it survived this magical explosion. After she does this and uses like quite a bit of her magic, it kind of knocks her out. And then after that, the rest of the team that's still alive is just trying to fight off this golem, which Core does the most of. He like stabs it in the back with an axe, and it's kind of back and forth with Core in this thing. But the rest of them are freaking out, specifically because Hope used magic, and I think in this world the wizards are supposed to be like bad guys. We do know that the main bad guy is a wizard, so I kind of have to assume that part of it, especially the way her crew acts about her using magic. But there is like a whole back and forth, specifically with the vampire in the group. She does not like that Hope use magic. On top of that, she's afraid that at any time, they could be at the end of that magical bomb type thing. But while they're fighting, they are still trying to get rid of the get out of the little hidey hole that they're in, because they're stuck in there with the golem. They do manage to kind of knock them off for a second, and they kind of, you know, group together. They come up with this escape plan that entails like blowing up this hideout, which you see, and they do. It does jump across town, and we catch up with our, and it would be like the main villain, but this is the wizard, and he is kind of mentioning that the golem is taking a little too far, that you know, that the golem wasn't supposed to blow up buildings or something like that. And that's kind of where they jump back to our present situation. It's just a group, and they are kind of talking about the whole, like, that she used magic, this and that, and they're basically trying to get out of, you know, here, make it to the shore somehow, so they can just get away from this golem. At this time, they kind of think it's dead, but they know better that it's not, so they're still trying to, you know, make it out alive, kind of thing. And they're still kind of like fighting between each other, because some of them trust Hope, some of them don't. We do see that, of course, the golem is alive, and there's this cool scene with the drone, and the drone's checking on the golem, and the golem is like, no, I'm fine, I'll get out of this, you know, go do what you're supposed to do, go find them, you know. They take us back in the tunnels, and now Hope has awakened, and she's trying to, you know, calm down the group, saying that she doesn't, you know, she has no control of the magic, it's new, that's why she didn't tell everybody. But at the same time, you know, she's not a bad guy, she's not going to just turn on everybody. They have decided that they are going to go to Treasure Island, which sounds like a bunch of pirates kind of thing. They do mention that she has issues with the leader on Treasure Island, that if he catches her, you know, that he'll skin her type thing, and she kind of like weighing, well, which one's better, the evil wizard or the pirates, and it seems like they're going to do the Treasure Island thing. They do eventually, like as they're walking through these corridors trying to find a way out, they do start hearing something that's around the bend on another corridor, and it turns out it's like this kind of like a murder machine, which they kind of show here in the middle. They do this great thing where he is like scanning all you know, everybody in her group, and you kind of get why he's scanning. You know, you get a little bit of details about the group, about, like, you know, like, for instance, there is this guy, and he looks like an old cartoon character, and on his bio it does say species, human, male, homeland, old Chicago. It touches on some of the other ones, like Core, her best friend, is from Genghis, or it says with the question mark. It does say that our main character is from Mythwood. It says that one of the elves is from Mythwood. That the vampire is from a place called Horror Hill. But eventually they find out why this thing it's basically stuck. It was supposed to be like eliminating some threat. It keeps mentioning eliminate. As they talk to it, they find out that it's not trying to eliminate them, especially after it scanned everybody. But at the same time, they figure out why it's stuck. It was trying to capture something, and it just got wedged in between two doors, and they do end up freeing it. The drone or probe or whatever it is, it ends up taking them to the beach, and they do find the way out to the docks, so they can try and find a boat. They do see a boat and a captain that they do know. His name is like Bloody Gums something, but they start talking with Bloody Gums, and as they're talking to him, you know, we find out that Hope has already had bad relations with this guy, kind of screwing him over the last time they met. And you know, at this point, they don't really have any funds or anything to appease his wallet, kind of thing. So they're you know, basically like, hey, you know, can we do a favor, and we'll pay you back after you get us to Treasure Island? And he's not for it. But as he's talking to him, he kind of notices that there is like a member in the group that he wants. Incidentally, like when the drone was scanning everybody, the only information that we got about this one boy that he focuses on was unknown. But it is this, like, it's the boy with the goggles right here, and he's like, they do show him quite a bit. He was the one that exploded the hideout before with the golem, but he is like, he's a weird mix of things. He looks like half of a golem and like kind of mixed with rat maybe. There is no explanation on why the pirate wants that member of her group. He just, kind of like points and hey, I want that guy. If you give us that guy, everything will be fine. And Hope is like, no, we're going all together. And then the pirate starts getting aggressive, and as soon as he starts, and it's just an aggressive tone, but the second he starts taking that aggressive tone with Hope and her group, the murder drone activates and starts eliminating everybody that's not a part of Hope's group. He ignores everybody in her group, but everybody that was in that Bloody Gums group, they end up meeting murderous, and the R, man. You can go in detail. If you go back over here and look at all the pirates, it literally shows this drone kill each and every single one. One of them I had to look for like twice, but he's there. But the drone does end up killing all of the pirates that were there, including the captain, Mr. Bloody Gums. For some reason, the drone saved him for last. But they all do start boarding the boat, and as soon as they do, we see that the golem has caught up with them. The golem instantly takes out this murder drone. It looks like with some kind of like fiery sword or something. But they are able to take off, and as soon as they do, it looks like the golem is like called for reinforcements with the other drone or something like that. And there is some like a faction of bad guys that are wearing the same symbol as the main wizard that we have seen with the arrows, and you'll see a little better here. But as soon as they take off, their boat is kind of traveling at top speed, and the bad guys are kind of catching up with them. But as soon as they get a distance out from the docks, they start running into a different type of trouble, and there is it looks like a huge mythical like sea dragon or something like that pops up, and we do see that it does mess up the two bad guys' ships that were coming after them. And right at the end, as this thing pops up, we do see that it is capsizing their ship that they're on. And that's where this issue leaves off. There is, just like the last issue, we catch up with our fortune teller here, and he gives you a little hints at the next issue. I can read what he says. It says, "A fight that is not black and white, a city that lives in shades of gray, a man who nests upon gold in a room that reeks of wet dogs and grave dirt." And it says basically, if you can figure that out, you can perceive some things that are coming. At the moment, I mean, besides the gold, the gold room, we do have this right here. It is a fictional article from this world, from a reporter and the wizard, and the wizard's name is Taros Demond. But it's basically a continuation of that article from the first book, and it's basically an interviewing, asking the wizard about his life and everything. And this article is just basically asking him if he had any regrets on his journey, if there were anybody that he lost, that he regretted losing, kind of thing, and basically if he had any type of achievements on what was his greatest achievement. It is a very intriguing article, and it does open some more light into the bad guys, so I would suggest reading the article at the end. It's really like a page and a half. It's not that long. We do get, just like in the first issue, we do get what the creators were listening to as they were creating the comic. A lot of great music, most of it from vinyl, which is kind of amazing. But it's honestly like a weird mix of it'll be like Inagata Davida, from Iron Butterfly, and then right after that it'd be like, Prince, When Doves Cry, or Led Zeppelin, House of the Holy, and then next from Nectar, Time Machine. But it's really interesting to see what he was listening to. There's also at the very end the writer and the artist telling people that they can write this this Gmail account, and they can put some letters for other people to read. There is a YouTuber that made it in here, one that I know, Nerdit's Newsstand kind of made it in there, and that was kind of cool to see a YouTuber write a letter and actually get mentioned at the back at the comic. And very last but not least, we do get a picture from the cover of issue number 3 that's coming out, I think, at the beginning of October. But that is Echolands issue number 2, a really good issue. I mean, so far the build-up of the story is really good. Of course, there are questions. You know, I have a ton, but it seems like we're going to get them all in due time because I mean, even with this issue, it shed a little more light about you know, hope and what's going on. So I don't know. Be looking out for Echolands issue number 3. Please like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. And I got more reviews coming. Have a good day, and I'll be with you soon.